Good evening, folks. Welcome to Quest Group News Radio. I'm your host, Mr. D. Quest. Now, please, as you come in the building, people, make sure you hit that like button, share button, and subscribe button. That way, we can get these notifications out, and people that's looking for this particular case can find it a little bit more easier on YouTube. Okay, now that being said, now as y'all know, we cover a lot of cases that's in the news. So we decided to cover this case, which is the Savannah Spurlock murder case. All right. Now, as y'all all know, for people who followed this case, there was a recent arrest of a fellow by the name of David Sparks. He was recently arrested for her murder. All right. So we're just going to discuss this case a little bit, and we get your thoughts about the case. You could drop your thoughts down in the comment section if you like. All right, now first let's just rehash the case for a minute, and then we'll go back and run through some pointers and just have a little discussion about it. Okay, now here we go. 22-year-old Savannah Spurlock, who gave birth to twins in December, was last seen on surveillance video on January 4th after voluntarily leaving the other bar in Lexington, Kentucky with 3 men that she didn't know. Now, moments later, she FaceTimed her mother and told her she would be home in the morning. And that was the last time the two had spoke. Now, let's fast forward, people, okay? Now, after a while, nobody heard from Savannah, so concerns grew once Savannah never returned home and a missing persons report was filed. And upon further investigation, it was clear that the young mother's last actual sighting would be 40 miles away from the bar, entering a Garrard County home with the 3 men, but she was never seen exiting her home ever again. Now, all 3 men were questioned and denied any involvement in her disappearance. But months later, on July 11th, Savannah's body was discovered buried on a Sparks property, and one of the 3 men that she was last seen with, which is David Sparks, was arrested on multiple charges, with more to come in regards to her murder. Okay, now people, that's just the basic gist of the story. Now, I'm sure y'all followed the story before, and I'm sure y'all know the real nitty gritty and the real details and facts, right? But okay, let's run through some quick pointers. Now, first of all, she just had twins, all right? Okay, Savannah had just had twins before she went out to the bar. Okay, now I think it was only about a month before she went out that she had given birth to twins. So I guess, she just wanted to go out, let her hair down, have a little fun. Now I was saying that she originally went out with a friend, and her and her friend was hanging out. And I guess during that time, they wound up getting separated. I don't know if they had a little dispute or what. It is what it is, but they wound up getting separated, and Savannah wound up, I guess, staying behind at the bar and meeting these 3 guys. Okay, so now I don't know how she met the 3 guys. Maybe somebody bought her a drink or something like that. I don't know if maybe they had some mutual friends in common, because if these guys live in Garrett County and they was all the way where she was at, and she lives a little bit further, maybe that was one of those areas where people have friends, mutual friends in that area. So maybe they did have something in common. So I'm not sure if they was just totally unknown, or maybe, like I said, it was possible that there was some type of connection there. Now, with that being said, a lot of people was like, well, first of all, why are you hanging out after you just had twins? Now, people, you just had twins. Come on now. You just did the 9 months carrying twins. All right. So that's double the pregnancy, so give kudos to her, because she gave birth to healthy twins. All right. They came out healthy. So she wasn't partying like that when she was pregnant. All right. So let's not besmirch her because she wanted to go out and relax a little bit. Now, it was kind of late, but let her hang out, because once she gets back to the house, she knows she has some lovely duties to do. All right, now, some type of way, these dudes got her to leave the bar with them. Now, a lot of people have their own speculations, but me personally, I'm thinking maybe either they slip something in a drink to make her a little bit more relaxed, not GHB to where she's passed out, because she seemed like she still had her bearings, but sometimes if you just put enough of a drug, like ecstasy or something like that, if you slip just a baby enough of it, sometimes it's enough to have a person feeling good and open to suggestions of continuing the party. Now, I don't know if she knew she was headed to Garrett County when she FaceTimed her mother. Maybe they told her, listen, we could go score, some ecstasy or whatever type of, party drugs, and we could continue on. We call some girls over and we all hang out. So maybe she was like, cool, we could do that, especially since XYZ and I know XYZ, so it's all good. Now, I'm not saying they do have a mutual friend in common. I'm just kind of giving a little possible here, so anyway, somehow they was able to get her to go with them, but we're not sure if she knew that they was going 40 miles away to Garrett. They could have been like, hey, we're going to go, maybe 5 miles away, go pick up whatever. Then we're going to pick up a couple of more friends of ours, and then, more female friends of ours, and then we go hang out. So let's not act like she knew, she was going that far. Okay, now another thing. The thing that trips me out is, okay, these guys, you got 3 men, right? Hanging out, partying at a bar. Now, when we used to hang out back in the days, people, and it was 3 of us, 3 men, and if we had a bar, I'm not just looking for no one lady. It's all 3 of us. All right, we need a group of females to hang out with. Not just one. Now, if somebody in the group had their eye on that one lady, okay, you make your move, you pursue, and try to strike up some type of conversation. And if y'all hit it off, then usually that lady and the guy just took off. But 3 guys, that's like, okay, let's just take her home. It's like, wow, So I'm not sure. Well, I kind of know what the motive was, but I'm like, where's the fun in that? If I'm there, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Okay, you met her. Yeah, she cool. Yo, you got any partners? Let's go meet up with them. You know what I mean? Or, okay, y'all do y'all thing. I'm going to hang back here because I'm going to meet, myself a female for the night and try to have a time. You know what I mean? So those 3 guys, that's really suspicious to me, man. Because every time we went to the club, okay, you met your girl, okay, yeah, I'm gonna meet somebody up in here. And then other person like, yeah, I'm gonna meet somebody. And then at the end of the night, okay, everybody's partying, everybody's having a good time. It's not 3 guys drooling over the one girl. You know what I mean? So I'm not understanding how the other 2 dudes even got caught up in this situation, to tell you the truth. Unless maybe they didn't have a car and they had to leave when he left. You know what I mean? So whoever had the car, that's the one doing the driving. That's the one that's supposed to be like, well, hold on, I'm not leaving till I find something. You know what I mean? And I'll find something to prey upon, but just, just to have a good time, a nice conversation with, and probably a possible hookup later on. Okay, now it says out the 3 guys, they went to Garrett County. Now, David Sparks, the suspect, the guy who was arrested, come to find out his family, I guess, owns that property, rents it or owns it. Excuse me, folks. Yeah, come to find out they rent it or own it. I think they own that property, right? So David Sparks, first of all, you tripping, dude. Okay, respect your family. How in the world you a grown ass man taking women back to your family's house and then doing what you did or what you allegedly did and then burying them on a property? Come on now. Now, I was able to purchase a home, put some money down. I got a mortgage and all that. Plus, I got kids too. But if my son, winds up burying somebody on a property, a missing woman that's out there in the news, national news, and burying somebody on a property, and I find out, we're going to have a problem there. You know what I mean? Now, shout out to the person, I guess it was a friend or a family member that gave the police a heads up, because the police initially investigated that property in that area, in the surrounding areas, and they didn't find nothing. The dogs didn't find nothing. Nobody found nothing. So I'm thinking that the body was stored somewhere else until, they felt the coast was clear. They did enough searches. Okay, let's move the body back on the property. You know what I mean? Because they ain't coming back. Which is like, okay, you kind of still tripping, fam, because daggone well, ain't nobody letting this slide now. Because y'all excuse was, oh yeah, we bought her 40 miles away to the boonies, you know what I mean? And by the time I left and woke up, she was there, and then I went back to sleep, woke up again, and she was gone, no ride, no nothing. She just took off walking. I mean, their stories changed multiple times, but what, she just took off walking in the freezing cold, in the country road? Like, come on, man. Where you make this stuff up at, people? You know what I mean? Now, I don't know what type of party drugs they was on. A lot of people, it could have been meth. I'm not saying she was on meth, but they could have been on meth, or he could have been on meth. Now, I know it wasn't heroin, because heroin don't do that. Heroin, those people use heroin, they pass out, nod off, and that's it. Now, if they are using heroin, then the one that's doing the raping, he's the one that's not using heroin. He's the one that's using meth or coke. So while he gets them high off heroin and they're passed out, nodded off, he's wide awake off his coke or meth. You know what I mean? So Dave, I'm not saying he was using drugs, the suspect, but he was using something. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Okay, now I said the other two guys haven't been charged, but my thing is with this. Y'all dudes know, man. Come on, y'all know something. So hopefully they gave the police a little bit more than they was letting off to the public. Maybe they didn't want Dave to know that they was actually spilling the beans, or maybe they felt that they had some culpability, so they didn't know if they was going to be charged, so they just kept their mouth quiet. But like I was saying before, kudos to the person that told the police, there's a newly dug grave in the backyard, or there's a smell coming from this area, because that person knew. But I guess they was like, it's probably about time. Now it says that Dave went to Walmart, that Dave Sparks went to Walmart and got a sheet or something like that, and that sheet, he got some supplies from Walmart. Okay, and I don't know if he bought a blanket or a sheet, but whatever was found in the grave, which I think was a sheet, was something he recently bought from Walmart, and they got him on tape buying that particular one. Plus, he had talked to a sister or somebody about getting that. So that's kind of strange, because it's like, your family looking at you like you crazy already. Because even if they're like, honey, don't worry about it, it's going to blow over. They looking at you sideways. I mean, the conversation at the dinner table, it's got to be like off the hook. This ain't no regular, you got busted for something, sneaking in somebody's house, and, nah. They looking at you for murder. You know what I mean? So the whole conversation at the dinner table is probably weird. Now he got family members and stuff like that. So if they ain't have nothing to do with it, then I'm sorry, fam. I'm sorry for you guys, And that's another thing. Rest in peace to Savannah, man. And every time I was on Facebook or something like that, a lot of people was besmirching her for partying. But sometimes I get tired of the comment sections on certain cases, because it's like, y'all people off the hook, man. A person and died, missing, and y'all just going ham on the person. You know what I mean? Oh, she deserved it. Now, I do got to say, this case is definitely a warning to other daughters that's out there, to other women that's out there. And if you guys got daughters or kids, make sure you share this case with them and share this video with them, because the message to them is, she didn't deserve it, but things like this happens, so be careful. Okay? Because there's too many cases in the news where a woman's out there with her friends at the bar, they having a good time. Later on that night, the woman leaves with a guy, they never hear from her again. So everybody left and met together to go out, but then everybody's going their separate ways with strangers or not going home, leaving one person behind. It's like, nah, we come together, we leave together. You want to hook up with dude, get his number, you know what I mean? Get his Facebook, get his Instagram, tell him you give him a call later, the next day or the day after. Then run through that dude's Instagram and Facebook page to see what he's about. Do a quick check to see if there's any mug shots on him. You know what I mean? Make sure he really works where he says he works at. Check his family. See who he's following on Facebook, Instagram, and see who's following him. Stuff like that. Just do your due diligence before going home with somebody. You know what I mean? Now, if you're that tipsy and you want to have a little extra fun, you know, then call somebody that you already know and be like, hey, I'm a little tipsy. You know, I want to come over real quick. Okay, boom, whatever. You know what I mean? And then save the new guy that you met for another day, because you got to break him in first. You want to make sure that that everything is kosher before actually hooking up with that dude, because there's been too many cases. So, you know, that's being that right there. Now, another thing, people. Sometimes people was blaming the police for not doing their job. But I'm like, nah, the police did what they could do, because there's not so much you could do. You can't just arrest people straight off back because they was last on surveillance. You know, you got 3 guys there. Now, let's say 1 or 2 are innocent, man. You can't just be like, well, let's lock up all 3. You know what I mean? So they did what they could do. They let people sweat it out a little bit. Then when they start collecting cell phones, that's when they could see those texts. That's when they could see those messages and those emails and stuff like that. So kudos to the police for not letting up with the case, even though the public thought, oh, they're never going to solve this. It's a small town, you know, small town police. Nah, man, sometimes small town police know exactly what they're doing, you know, but it takes time, man, because once that DA charge you with murder, okay, if you beat that case, it ain't no do-overs, all right? Plus, you only got a certain amount of time to prove murder once you file those charges. You know, so they definitely have to make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's. So definitely, it did take a little while, but at least they was able to get that down, you know, and taken care of. Okay, now, another thing on that note, okay, it says Savannah FaceTime her moms, and her mom seen, I guess, some guys in the back. Now, that's a little bit scary, man. So, condolences to the moms, because that's kind of a weird way, you know what I mean? The last time you see your daughter, and you kind of, you know, you kind of nervous during the FaceTime, because you're like, where are you? You know, who are these people? And they talking in the back. And you kind of feel like it's a setup, man. So I feel sorry for moms. I feel sorry for parents, you know what I mean? And I feel sorry for friends, the one that's that left, you know, the one that she was originally hanging out with, because that's a little bit hard to swallow too. Like, man, only if I did this, only if I did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my discussion. Now let's go to a quick couple of questions and comments, and then after that we're going to answer them, and then we'll just end it off right there. Now, here we go. Okay, hi Quest, why haven't the other 2 guys been charged yet? Now, from my understanding, the case is still ongoing and charges are still pending. But if they didn't do nothing, folks, then they didn't do nothing. We can't just say, all right, let's charge them as well. Like, nah, because, you know, if they really innocent, you know what I mean? I don't know who the driver was or who the leader of the pack is. But if you like, nah, I'm not down with whatever activities you plan on doing, I'm out of the house, then cool. You know what I mean? Now, if nothing wasn't going down and they didn't call the police, then they shouldn't be charged. But if they knew that he was about to do whatever, like he was trying to drug her and possibly do something, if they knew something, then they should have called the police that night. You know, so they definitely said charges are still pending towards the case. So that's a possible. All right. Next question. Hot question. Neighbor says she heard screams coming from the house. Now, for those that followed this case, there was a neighbor that came on TV talking about, yeah, I heard screams that night. A lot of loud noises and screaming and stuff, and I didn't know that's what was going on, right? And like everybody else, I'm like, hold on, folks. You mean to tell me you in the country homes where there ain't nobody out there, you hearing screams, and those types of screams, loud screams like that, and you ain't call the cops, you ain't call the sheriff to say, hey, check and see what's going on? Now, if you the neighbor, you know the homeowners, you know the family don't get down like that. So if you hear a woman screaming that time of night, get up and say something. Call the cops. If you wasted their time for that quick little 5-minute, 10-minute drive out to the residence, then at least you covered yourself. You know, at least you tried. So, you know, that's the thing. Hopefully she, you know, if it was true, hopefully she doesn't beat herself up too much. But that's just the message, people. If you hear something, say something. You know what I mean? Now, okay, last question. Hot question. What can we learn from this from both a man and a woman's perspective? Okay, good question. Okay, from a man's perspective, when you're hanging out and you're looking to have fun, stop preying on women, fellas. Stop it. Okay? There's no way that 3 men should be out there looking for one girl. Now, those 2 other dudes, if they are innocent, now they being looked at heavy. Okay, their whole lives is being turned upside down because they wasn't man enough to say, you know what? I'm not going to be a vulture over here. Okay, we found this one girl and let's all 3 vulture her to death. No. They should have been man enough to be like, all right, you know, whatever chicks is in here, let me try to find something for me, you know, and maybe possibly we have a nice little party afterwards, or at least, because not one guy was able to say, oh yeah, I met a girl at the bar and we was going to hook up the next day, so I just took off. Nah, it all looked like they was there to gang rape her. That's what it looked like in my eyes on a surveillance video with them leaving. It looked like, well, what is this? But I'm not saying that was their intentions, but, you know, so if you don't want your sons in those situations, tell them, man up, man. Stop being a follower, be a leader. You know what I mean? Stop being a follower, be a leader. Okay, because they was drooling, they all 3 was drooling over her. And nobody was man enough to say, let me find my own. So that was that. And when it comes to for the message for women, y'all know what it is, man. Stop going to these places and hooking up and leaving the bar with these people you don't know the same night. Just stop it, man. Do your due diligence. And pretty much, so I'm not going to beat the drum on this because we're definitely going to do more case updates. I just felt, since this is a new channel and we do a lot of news coverage, this channel is still new, people, so I had to cover this story. You know, and just give my little pinpoints on the situation, my little rundown, you know, straight up with no chaser. We don't edit, we don't pause, we don't stop. We just give it a straight rundown and just put our feelings into it. And that's what we did here. So anyway, folks, like I said, that's it for today's topic on the Savannah Spurlock case. But definitely, please, folks, make sure you hit that like button, share button, subscribe button, and definitely that subscribe button because we got plenty more cases coming. We got plenty of cases that we already uploaded. You know, and definitely hit the notification bell because soon we're going to start doing lives. You know, once we get 1,000 subscribers, we're going to start going live on different cases. And that way everybody have that strong cup of coffee, not a regular cup of coffee, but a strong cup of coffee. And we all sit down as a community and vibe with each other while we go live here on this page. Definitely. So anyway, that's it for tonight. I want everybody to be safe. Rest in peace to Savannah. She didn't deserve it. You know, condolences to her friends and family, definitely. I hope David Sparks get what he deserves. I hope the other guys own up to whatever they knew about the situation. And I hope, you know, our kids, my kids, your kids, I hope everybody's safe in the future and just live life, have fun, you know, but just definitely be safe. All right, people, I'm out of here. Peace.